Oh, good morning. It is freezing outside. It's not that cold, but it's also it's freezing. But it's also weird weather. If you're from East Texas, you probably understand this. If you're not in East Texas, you won't understand this. But in East Texas, for some reason, we'll get so close to having snow or having any sort of wintry weather. We'll get super close to it, and it'll just get rain. So we'll get like 32 degree temperatures, 30 degree temperatures, and we'll just get a bunch of cold rain. And so, yeah, it ends up being kind of a not so fun adventure, but it's okay, because that's one of the luxuries of being in East Texas. So, yeah, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about this morning, and I was struggling, and I also haven't uploaded for like 2 weeks, because I was off of work for 2 weeks, so I was like, well, there's nothing to record, because I'm not going to be driving to work. But I guess a little update. I got a new place to live, a duplex, and it's a lot nicer than an old place. It's close to work, close to family, all the things. It's great. And I guess something that I've been thinking about with that is just how so often, like in my own life, whenever I get something new, I tend to start complaining about like literally the week right after, and start thinking about, oh, I wish I had this, wish I had that, and I find it interesting how it's so easy to become discontent with good things really, really fast. Because I mean, this place is like double the size of our old place. It's closer in town. It's all the things. And a week after, I found myself thinking, man, if only I had like a garage. If only I had like, 3 bedrooms instead of 2, so I could have a little space or something. Just all these different things start piling up. And I realized at the end of the day, like, okay, there's never going to be enough of anything to just be 100% satisfied. And if we're always trying to look to material things to satisfy us, it's never gonna amount to anything, because there's always gonna be one more dollar, there's always gonna be one more add-on to the house, there's always gonna be one more of this and that, and it's really easy to get into that mindset, because we look around at what other people have, and there's always one person that seems to be like 2 steps ahead of us, and it's so easy to compare plates and be like, oh man, I wish I had what they had, and in reality they're probably looking at your plate and being like, oh, I wish I had what they had. And there really is a skill in contentment. It's a skill that is underrated, it's underqualified, and it's just not really talked about, is being content with what you have. And it can be really difficult to have that skill, because that skill is something that you have to seek from the Lord. You have to seek it from looking to Jesus. Can you be content without being a Christian? Maybe, but I imagine it's hard to be content if you're looking. I don't know what you find contentment in if you're not following Christ. But so contentment, and when we look to Christ to fulfill us and to sustain us, it works. He satisfies us, because that's literally the reason why He made us, was to be satisfied in Him. And anything outside of that is pointless, and it gets monotonous, and it gets difficult and challenging, because it's like, well, yeah, of course you're always going to be discontent if you're not looking at Christ. There's something to think about for today. I challenge wherever you're watching from, whatever stage of life you're in, because I even remember when I was in high school, when I was a kid, when I was 5 years old, there's always something else I wanted to have, and there's always something else I became or started to desire. But yeah, interesting how it works, how our minds can become so wrapped up in what we don't have so quickly. So yeah, think about that. What are you desiring or wanting that you don't have? And how can you start looking to Christ in place of that? Yeah, just some thoughts for today. So, I'm about to pull in the word. Goodbye.